Last week, people across the country observed Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women's Day, so I decided to bring you a video about Selena Not Afraid, a 16-year-old girl from the Crow tribe who went missing and was later found deceased. Selena's case includes much suspicion. She was missing for nearly 3 weeks before she was found in an area that had supposedly already been searched. So let's start with some background on her case. Selena and her twin sister Zoe were the youngest of 5 siblings. Tragically, only one child remains. Zoe died by suicide at the age of 11. Their older brother was shot by police. An older sister was the victim of a hit and run as she walked down the street. Then, tragically, Selena passed away as well. Selena had attended a New Year's Eve party that lasted overnight, from what I can gather. Selena herself did not drink, but alcohol was being served at the party, leading some to speculate that she had drank that evening. Following day, Selena and another girl accepted a ride back to their hometown from several adults at the party. The van they were traveling in did at some point supposedly break down. The driver pulled into a rest stop to attempt to fix the problem. He apparently was able to get the van running, but felt it would likely break down again. For this reason, according to the driver, he thought it best if the 2 young girls did not complete the trip home in the van, but rather wait for a ride from his mother, who lived about 15 minutes away. I came across a couple different variations of this story. In the other version, he said he told the girls that if they were not in the van when he got it running, they would be left behind. In both versions, he called his mother to retrieve the girls from the rest stop. The mother arrived approximately 20 minutes later, but Selena was nowhere to be found. Here again we see much speculation concerning both the location of the rest stop as well as the driver's motive for leaving the girls there. Looking first at the location, there seem to be pictures floating around online that show white lines on the road in a video Selena took of the driver and another passenger fighting at the rest stop. This is compared to a picture someone later took, which shows yellow lines. Incidentally, I found a picture that shows both white and yellow lines in different places at the same rest stop. There was also a green car in the area at the time, and I will include all of the pictures here. In terms of a motive for leaving the girls behind, several possibilities come to mind. First, there is the possibility that he did believe the van would break down and didn't want the young girls to be stranded in the middle of nowhere. Secondly, it is also possible that if the girls had been drinking, perhaps he was nervous about being caught on the side of the road with the girls. There is also the possibility that the entire story is a lie. There are a few things that would support this theory. First of all, Selena was never found at the rest stop by his mother. Secondly, 2 of the people in the van that day have since fled the state. Now, I will point out that police claim to have searched the van and found no evidence of foul play. Again, this is considered suspicious by some, given that Selena was found in an area that police claim they had already searched. In addition, the police seem to be withholding some key information in the case, namely the toxicology report. While it is possible the girls had been drinking, it is also possible someone drugged them. So clearly the tox screen is vital to this case. As of now, much time has passed, and yet the findings have not been made available. So looking closer at the issue of where Selena was found, a couple things jump out right away. First, as I mentioned, she was found in an area where they had supposedly already searched. Additionally, the other girl is said to have stated that Selena climbed a fence and had taken off into the trees. Based on photos of the area, there doesn't appear to be a fence, and the trees there are very sparse. Now, the girl apparently was disoriented when she was found. She was also barefoot with numerous scratches on her legs, sitting in a ditch as if she were trying to hide. Again, lends a fair amount of credence to the idea that the girls may have been drugged or possibly had been drinking. Other issues surrounding the apparently botched search include the use of regular police dogs as opposed to cadaver dogs. Further, the dogs were kept on leashes rather than being allowed to roam freely to follow a scent. Here again we have conflicting statements. One source stated that the dogs were kept on leashes to protect the search party participants due to the dogs being vicious. Another source claimed the dogs were kept on leashes to keep them out of the power lines. Incidentally, the police officer who led the investigation claims that the area was searched for, quote, 28 hours the first day. Selena was found between 3/4 and 1 mile from the rest stop. I would imagine one could have easily made it a mile from the starting point in 28 hours, yet she was not found. It seems searchers stopped just short of where she was later found. This seems awfully suspicious to me. Like, what are the odds they spent that much time searching and didn't make it to the area where she was later located? Did they know she was there and purposely avoid the area, or was she, in fact, not there at the time? Perhaps she was being held somewhere for several weeks before she passed away. It also occurs to me that her death could somehow be linked to the death of her older sister. Perhaps that wasn't an accident. Perhaps there is a vendetta against the family. Considering that the police shot Selena's older brother, there's a possibility someone wants to silence the witnesses or make sure the family doesn't pursue the issue. Now, of course, this is merely speculation, but the possibility exists nonetheless. And given the fact that the police don't seem to be releasing all the evidence, all one can really do is speculate. Apparently, the coroner listed the cause of death as hypothermia. Multiple sources stated, however, that it was not that cold in the area at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, here again we have to wonder, had the girls been drinking? Intoxication is known to increase the likelihood of hypothermia. I also have to wonder how the girl got scratches all over her legs and lost her shoes sitting in a ditch at a rest stop. Was she assaulted, or perhaps she was also walking through the trees? Several sources stated that she was disoriented and had no recollection of how she got to the rest stop to begin with, again alluding to the possibility she had been drugged. There also were differing accounts as to how acquainted the two girls actually were. Some say they were friends, others say they merely knew each other. The whole case is impossible to figure out without the totality of the evidence. All involved should be under suspicion at this point, including the police. The family deserves answers and justice for their daughter. It is hard to imagine they will receive such until the police come forth and share their findings. Thanks for watching. Good night and God bless.